what's up, guys? Welcome to my frequency. I'm Michael Jarlow, and you know what we came here to do. Let's check out the world of TikTok.
Thing is other planets or outer space. I believe the planets are actually just fallen angel beings, and I'm about to show you. So we know, according to scripture, stars are angels, angels are stars. We know that we all live under God's firmament. There's no such thing as outer space. So all the stars or angels are inside the firmament. Right? According to Revelation, the 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, right? So we know stars are angels. Right? We know 1/3 of the stars of heaven, or the angels, fell, right? They disobeyed God. These are known as the fallen, right? Now the book of Ezekiel gives us a description of what some of these angels look like. As for their appearances, they four had one likeness, as if a wheel had been in the midst of a wheel. So a wheel inside of a wheel. This is a picture of Mars captured by the Nikon P1000 camera. What do you see? A wheel inside of a wheel. Now, you can go find a bunch of Greek and Roman gods that actually have the same names as the planets. They were named after them because they're not actually planets. The false gods are really just fallen angels in disguise. This stuff is no joke. You can go look it up. Why do you think they had us building these solar system projects in school, trying to get us to memorize all these names? We were giving false idolization to these false gods. Right, and they gave us hints, right? Some of them actually do look like wheels inside of wheels, but this is fake. It's not what they actually look like. These are the true photos of what these so-called planets actually look like. They're all wheels inside of wheels. These are the fake ones. Now these are some pictures of stars as well that have the same exact appearance, just normal stars. Alright, so what God has ordained for these angels is to move in this circuit type fashion around the earth, right? Right, so if there was certain of these stars or these angels not moving in this circuit, they'd basically be disobeying him, right? Which is what the planets are, wandering stars. I believe they are part of the fallen, which is why they are connected to all these Roman and Greek false gods. I believe he gave us a hint at this in the book of Jude. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out of their own shame. Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Why are these wandering stars or those wandering angels so shameful? Probably because they disobeyed him. If y'all want more about this, it's in my True Earth book, in my profile. Go download. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Don't forget to like and follow to stay tapped in with the truth, and I'll see you in the next one. There's no such thing as other planets.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm rolling with, the theory I'm rolling with, right there.
It's not a place you can get to by a boat or a train.
Alcohol means body-eating spirit, al-kul in Arabic, hence why vodka is called spirits. Jinn is a jinn, which are invisible creatures in early religions. This is where jinx comes from. When you jinx something, it means bad luck. Because the spiritual planes is what they are hiding from you. They want you to believe everything is just physical. Jay-Z's alcohol brand has a Knight Templar symbol called the Cross of Lorraine, which is one of the highest orders of Freemasonry. Alcohol destroys the connection between your oversoul and your physical body by destroying brain cells, which then makes you more vulnerable for demons to enter your electromagnetic field and take control. Society is being ran by an ancient dark cult which uses black magic and the dark usage of alcohol. Why do you think these are illegal and this is legal? Alcohol means body-eating spirit, al-kul in Arabic. And
Yeah, I'd buy that for $1.
I'll buy that for $1.
I mean, we all know. I mean, I already knew this. That's my one big vice right there is alcohol.
Oh, shots.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good today, man. They're on point.
Let's stay on point.
Yeah.
Things that can't happen have happened here. The site is built 12,000 feet above sea level. This is very oxygen-poor air in which the slightest exertion can cause nausea and worse, and yet blocks of up to 200 tons were maneuvered over distances of up to 90 miles in rarefied air. This is not possible by muscular strength. This grand complex was built with a technical skill embarrassing to us and by a method which is totally unknown to us today. With truncated pyramids, artificial hills, lines of monoliths, platforms, underground rooms, and giant gates which incorporate architecture beyond our technical scope today. Many large gateways were built from a single stone. The Gate of the Sun is the biggest carved monolith in the world. It is a single block of rock, 10 feet high and 6 feet wide. Many of the great buildings were dynamited, and then untold treasures disappeared. One 24-foot statue remains, but the records are there. You see, when the Spanish got there, they made records of it, and then they tore them down, blew them up to salvage the gold, silver, and the metals, shipped them off to Spain. Here's the point. Here are buildings at 12,000 feet in Bolivia that we could not build today, let alone at 12,000 feet. And we're being told, you know, in our movies and in our books, that these great monuments were built by slave labor, and they were built by hand, without wheels, without pulleys, just by pure muscle. That's preposterous poppycock. You talk about fantasy world. Hey, you talk about fairy tales. That's a fairy tale. In Job 38, verse 24, we read a scientific question. It says, by what way is it that the light is parted? Or paraphrased, it says, by what way or technique is the light apportioned or separated? Can you imagine asking that question 4,000 years ago? It is, of course, today a simple one, and the student instantly answers, well, by passing it through the prism of the spectroscope. But who could have known that 4,000 years ago in Job's day? And since it's manifestly impossible for any human mind to frame a question that the mind knows nothing of, a greater mind than the mind of Job is the questioner here. But when we heat a metal red hot or heat any substance until it's incandescent, it gives forth rays of light. These rays, after passing through the prism of the spectroscope, divide themselves on the graph according to the content of the matter that sent them forth. So when a ray of light reaches us from some far-flung star, it need only to pass that ray of light through the spectroscope to see the composition of that star and the proportion of each of its ingredients. This division of light rays is always constant. It doesn't vary in the least particular, so that we may always rely upon its results. It's called spectroscopic analysis. And this is the manner by which the light is apportioned. Now this places us in a quandary, because either Job knew this, or we're dealing with a supernatural wisdom here. You know, it's one thing to say, well, yeah, we could duplicate that today. But when you've got monuments out here, as I pointed out last time, you got a block of rock that weighs 200,000, not 200 tons, 200,000 tons, which is 5 Queen Marys. Somebody quarried that block of rock and then moved it and set it in place. There isn't anybody in the world today that can do that. There are pyramids in the world that are bigger than the Great Pyramid of Cheops. Now, if you're like me, you heard that the Great Pyramid of Egypt is the biggest pyramid in the world. Down in Mexico City, 40 miles out of town, there's a couple of pyramids called the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon. I saw those as a kid, I was about 20 years old or so. I went down there and I looked at those pyramids, and my God, these two pyramids look just like the pyramids over in Egypt. How could these people over here in the New World be building pyramids that look just like the pyramids in Egypt, unless they had had some kind of communication? Pyramids are in China. They're in Australia. They're in the United States of America. Did you know we got 9 pyramids over here in the United States of America, sitting over in Illinois? I never read about those pyramids here in the United States when I went to school. I never heard a word about them. My wife is from Illinois, and she said, have you ever heard of the pyramids in Illinois? I looked at her like, pyramids? She says, yeah, they're about the same size as the Great Pyramid of Cheops in Egypt, and there's 9 of them in Illinois. And I looked at her like, lady, you got to be out of your mind. There's no pyramids in America. If there were, I would have heard about it when I went to school. And she said, well, turn left here. Let's go take a look at one. So we drove out into the countryside.
Learn about it in school.
And here's this great big mountain. There are parks. The state of Illinois has a park there. I climbed to the top of one of them. The top of the pyramid, the top of this pyramid in Illinois, is 1/2 acre in size. That's the top. The top is 1/2 acre. It's bigger than your house. It's bigger than your lot. And somebody packed all that dirt up there. I'm telling you, boys and girls, that if you had to go out here and build that pyramid today, if you called the Caterpillar Tractor Company, you'd have to have a major contracting outfit like Guy F. Atkinson to come out there and build something like that. You know, we look at it and we say, with a bunch of baskets carrying dirt, stacked it up there. There's no Indian tribes around here ever claimed that they built that thing. It was there when they arrived. That's what they're telling them. Things that can't happen have happened here.
See, the first mistake they make is they think that all civilizations in the past were not as technologically advanced as we are. That's the first mistake. Second mistake is thinking that they're going to teach you what you need to know in school. That's the second mistake. Maybe you should switch those around. That's the first mistake, is thinking that they're going to teach you what you need to know in school. The second mistake is to think that we're the pinnacle of human. That's a joke.
Very funny.
Edgar Casey, The Sleeping Prophet, I read his book, and he's pretty on point, that there was more technological cities. It's just natural disasters and maybe killing ourselves.
The end of the world.
Is why there's a recycling of civilization. So, I mean, come on, man. Every first grade truther knows this stuff. This isn't... He's so surprised that there's pyramids in America. That is crazy to me.
You're the town dumbass.
You know, they staged all these photos. They staged, you know, the horse and wagon, and, you know, they came with a hammer and a chisel, and it doesn't make any sense. There was no hammer and chisel. There was no horse and wagon. There was no Oregon Trail. There was no none of that. What there was advanced technology. Now, let's take it one step further. There's tunnels that are large enough to fit railroads underneath our feet. People arrive here after they hijack and steal all these buildings. They get in these tunnels and they actually transport themselves with whatever technology is deep down within the earth, and they get to all these cities. Then they put their name on top of these buildings, claim them, and then say this is Harvard, and this is Yale, and this is the first, you know, Hershey's chocolate, and this is the first Tiffany's & Co. You know, all these different names. They traveled through the underground part of the earth to inhabit and take over all these different cities. They're coming up from underneath the earth. That's how it actually went down. There was no Oregon Trail and somebody sitting across the wagon. There might have been. Some people might have tried to go with a horse and a wagon, but they probably perished.
Yeah, a lot of people probably perished. It was probably staged. I can agree with that.
You staged these events to torture me.
Yes.
And I don't think there was any gold in the gold rush. I think that was a big ploy to get people to move, if you get what I'm saying.
There's gold in them hills.
Like, hey, there's a bunch of gold out here, come out here. And that's what got them out there. You know what I mean? Even though there probably wasn't any gold. I could see that being staged. I don't know about the whole traveling thing. I have to do some research on that. Underground railways and stuff like that.
Yes, I do my own research.
If you do the right research, I'm not really against any kind of theory.
This is how clear that it's the end times in the Bible. In the New Testament, it's the end times. If you guys aren't aware, in 1 Corinthians 7, Paul is telling people about marriage, like what's a sin and what's not a sin. Most people are aware that Paul told people that it would be better not to get married, right? He's basically saying that your life serving God would be easier if you weren't trying to please a spouse. But here's why he said it. 1 Corinthians 7, starting with verse 25. Now concerning the betrothed, I have no command from the Lord, but I give my judgment as of one who the Lord's mercy is trustworthy. I think that in view of the present distress, it is good for a person to remain as he is. What present distress? Are you bound to a wife? Do not seek to be free. Are you free from a wife? Do not seek a wife. But if you do marry, you have not sinned. And if a betrothed woman marries, she has not sinned. Yet those who marry will have worldly troubles, and I would spare you of that. This is what I mean. Okay, so now he's saying, this is what I mean, brothers. The appointed time has grown very short. From now on, let those who have wives live as though they had none, and those who mourn, though they were not mourning, and those who rejoice as though they were not rejoicing. For those who buy as though they have no goods, as those who deal with the world as though they have no dealings with the world. For the present form of this world is passing away. How crazy is that? that Paul is telling people to not get married because the world is about to end as they know it.
Paul's a damn genius.
Brilliant. Now, Stevie Wonder, you got me wondering why in the fuck you looking at that phone. You supposed to be blind. Yeah. But you looking at her phone and she's showing you something on that motherfucker. Now, for years, everybody been having conspiracies about your ass really being able to see. And yes, guy, I done saw video footage of you doing some shit to make it look like you can see. Motherfucker knocked the microphone stand down and you grabbed that motherfucker and lifted it back up. How you do that if you can't see the motherfucking microphone stand, dog? Explain that shit. There's a shit ton of celebrities who said you be knowing who the fuck they are when you can't even see they motherfucking ass. Now I know, motherfucker, now look. The cat's out the bag, dog. Now I don't know if they try to use the blind shit to make sure to get you more popular. I don't fucking know. They didn't even have to do that. You one of my favorite artists ever, if not my favorite. Your music is fire. But you lying about not being able to see is crazy as a motherfucker, dog. We ain't gonna act like that ain't motherfucking crazy. You looking right at that motherfucking phone while she's showing you whatever the fuck she's showing you, dog. And I'm so glad a nosy motherfucker took their phone out and snapped a flick of your ass. Stevie, you got some motherfucking explaining to do, dog. This whole motherfucking time you've been seeing every motherfucking thing. That's what I believe. That's a big fact. Dog. Peace.
Your music is fire, but boy, you a liar. Huh? That doesn't necessarily prove anything, but I'm at the point where I don't trust any celebrities. Even my favorite celebrities, I don't trust their backstories. I don't trust. They all have stage names. I don't trust their backstories. And you can watch over time, especially if you're a fan of somebody, you can watch how their story kind of, they start mentioning stuff 10, 20 years later. They didn't mention before when, I'm not going to say no names, but they could say they were feuding with somebody or something. Well, when y'all were hot, y'all didn't talk about y'all feuding. Y'all, I don't know. I'm kind of past wherever he's at. I don't trust none of them. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that.
I do not trust you.
Broccoli is man-made, not healthy. Spinach is acidic, this is man-made. Seedless grapes are acidic, they are hybrids. Guava is alkaline, this is natural. Papaya alkaline, use the seeds to eliminate parasites. Mangoes are naturally grown in the wild, they are alkaline. Cherries alkaline, use key limes instead of limes. Key limes have seeds and they are very small. Alkaline. Pears are alkaline. Red onions alkaline. Peanuts are acidic, they are man-made, they are hybrid GMOs. Coconuts very powerful, they are alkaline. Courgettes are alkaline. Spring onions alkaline. Sweet corn is a GMO. This is not healthy, acidic. Use Jamaican avocados instead of the Hass avocados. If your fruit does not have seeds, that fruit cannot reproduce. It's genetically modified. This is a real grape. 80% of the fruit and veg that you consider to be healthy for your body is unhealthy. The Human Health Guide gives you a list of the fruits, nuts,
Yeah, I mean,
vegetables, grains, oils that were here on the day of creation and not man-made.
okay, yeah, we got to the end of that.
WTF?
Yeah, the problem is, man, everything.
Broccoli is man-made, not healthy.
The problem's all the food. I mean, they're poisoning anything that's good. They are making it where it's not good. Anything healthy, they're making it where it's not healthy. We're in a tight spot.
Damn, we're in a tight spot.
We're in a tight spot. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for y'all today. I appreciate y'all coming out to hang out with me. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment, or don't. I really don't care. And I'll see y'all next time.